She has Janasi's blood, and with his blood, baby, anything goes at this point. His blood is very much so tainted. Like he's just, it's freak of the week with that blood. Welcome to my channel, Cinematic Thoughts. And in this episode, I want to discuss the Netflix show, The Polygamist. I watched this show so fast. I was even at work, okay, waiting to get home to get all relaxed and catch up to the next episode. That's how much this series captivated me. The first episode, when you see Joyce Gamora walking into the funeral and she bends over that casket and she's talking to Janasi, and you're just like, wait, what is going on? But first, even in that first frame, the first scene, when you see her and her children behind her, she looks amazing. She looks so good. So when she comes in there, like, that's just set the tone for what were to be expected. But at the same time, too many things in this series was unexpected. So many. Like, this is a series that have you thinking what's going to happen next. And even if you think something's going to go one way, it goes someplace totally different. And I love that. I love how this show kept you guessing what was going to happen, who was going to do what. It just made for great television. Pretty much in a nutshell, the review actually it's about one man's decisions and his lack of sexual discipline that ultimately became his downfall and his demise. That's the review. Janasi Gamora made decisions that affected his family and ultimately himself. So let's start with Joyce. Okay, and I just want to give my thoughts on these characters and these actors and this whole entire super talented, super beautiful cast and their portrayal of in these roles. So we have Joyce, and Joyce is first a woman, right? She's first a woman before anything else. She's a woman. She's a mother. She's a wife. She's a businesswoman. She's a woman who came from something. So her father already was part of the business that her husband is a part of. It is J&J. That's the company for Janasi and Joyce. On top of that, she also has her own thing going. She's an influencer. She is a brand ambassador. So her whole image is around her family, her lifestyle, and she is very successful at what she does. And of course, she does not want to throw all of that away or let her brand and her business be affected by her husband's decision and his infidelity. We see throughout the show that Joyce is very classy. She's a real classy lady, and I love that. I love the costumes in this show, just in general, what everyone wore and how they looked, how they presented themselves. Like, I really loved it. Even the mistresses, although their roles and their characters were on some shady business, they look good. They look good doing it. First of all, South Africans are very beautiful people. They have a regalness to them with their culture and their traditions. And so you really get to feel all of that in the show as well. And so I just love how South Africans were seen. And I am someone who have watched South African shows and movies before in the past, and I feel the same way all the time. This series here is just on a whole nother level with the storyline and just everything. And plus, it also is a book by a actual Zimbabwean author, Sue Yanti. And so just excellent all around. And I just probably can't wait to even read the book because the series did justice. So I know the book is going to be even better because that's normally how it goes anyway. I enjoyed about the show is watching the characters develop from when you first see them until the end, watching their evolution. So for someone like Matipa, right, where she comes in and you see that she just wants to climb the ladder, but she wants to do it through Janasi, and not just climb the ladder. She just wants him. I don't even think she even really cared about a job or having an office and anything and climbing up. She wanted to get to the top so that she can live the type of life that a boss's woman would have, because she wanted that man in particular. And so to watch her evolution from being this mistress, being disrespectful to Joyce and everything, and then to go later where Joyce was her confidant. Joyce became the person she leaned on, and they actually built a type of, relationship once they truly became sister wives. And so just watching her growth, but really with her character, she really grew, in my opinion, once she had those twins, because becoming a mother does change you. You have a bigger purpose, like your body went through something great, and so your mindset is different. So when Janasi came to her, because his mindset, nothing happened with him, right? He just happy he got more children. He ready to get his rocks off. And I just thought that was very disgusting. I really did. I thought that scene was, are you serious? Because again, I'm feeling her as a woman. I'm feeling her as a new mother. I'm feeling her as a woman whose body just did something painful and miraculous. And you talking about, yeah, come on. A shame. But does Janasi have shame? He does not. And you start to see that what she wanted is not coming to pass, and she's not happy about it. It was cute and fun and games in the beginning, when you're going around and having sex everywhere, with Janas, and you all up in Joy's face, like, yeah, 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 yeah. But it's a whole nother ball game when now you have twins and this man's not around. Now you have the ring, but he's not in your bed at night. That takes on a whole different mindset. And she just bowed out, and she just couldn't take it, especially after the physical abuse. Yeah. Now, as far as Joyce being a good woman with those children, honestly, it couldn't be me. I'm gonna just be straight up. It couldn't be me. I would have taken those children, brought them to Jonas, and said, "There you go." And then insult to injury, when her and Mpume, her daughter, goes over to the home to go and get clothes and things for the twins, he's there with Ladani. And he's there with Ladani, and he tells Joyce in her face, "You are a good woman." You see that right there? That in that moment, I would. I mean, now this me, this me, not the character. I would have just straight up told him, "A good woman for what? Because these your kids, baby. They coming back to you. I'm not keeping them. Matter of fact, they're going in an orphanage. Okay, they're going up for adoption. I don't want these children because these are your babies." That's what I would have done. But Joyce, she really was a good woman. Like, really, she really was, and she was raising these babies and these children as her own. And that is so commendable for her. The next person I want to talk about really quickly is Sarah. Oh my goodness, such a tragedy. Such a tragedy. Again, beautiful young woman. My gosh, just beautiful all around. From Joyce to Matipa to Ladani to Sarah to Mpume, like to the mother. Like these women, Essie, these women are beautiful women. My goodness. And talk about body. South African women, they got body. Body, yaddy, yaddy. Okay? Just fine. But Sarah, mind you, Sarah could dress. I enjoyed her fashions, her clothing, very cute. She wore it. All right, she put it on and she wore it. Her and Matipa and Joyce, all of them, they wore it. They wore it down. But this is what I want to say about her is that yes, her upbringing was not favorable. Yes, living a life where you are a secret and the whole time you're surrounded by your siblings and how they get to enjoy a family life that you are literally sitting there and you cannot have. That's another level of like insanity. That's so hurtful. And then you're watching new children being born and they're coming into the fold and you are still excluded. Those type of issues, yes, I understand now, or I understood why she had the issues she had. But something that was just bewildering is that she allowed what she was feeling to dictate her experiences with her siblings, especially Mpume. Like Mpume didn't treat her no differently, right? Although she just thought that was my cousin, but she was a cool cousin. And yet the things that she was doing that she called, a cry for help, it's like she was creating experiences that was further pushing her away from the life and the love she wanted with her family. She was creating more abandonment by her choices with them. And that just was pretty sad to watch. Baby, actress can cry at a dime. I mean, the tears, all she did was cry. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing because, like, that's great acting that you could cry at a dime of a hat. But overall, for that character, I did like how, in the end, Mpume at the funeral did recognize her because that's what she needed. She really was a tragic case, but she also could have made better decisions. And she also took her anger and her acting out on the wrong one. It should have been her father, but she was taking it out on everyone else. Mind you, her trying to kiss Magesh, I'm still not sure what that was about. I'm just gonna chuck it up to that she has Janasi's blood, and with his blood, baby, anything goes at this point. His blood is very much so tainted. Like it's freak of the week with that blood, and so that's why she kissed her uncle daddy, or attempted to kiss her uncle daddy. Cause girl, what, what, what? Now, Essie, mind you, I kind of like Essie. Now, as a mother holding this secret and like with your children, creating and upholding this ultimate lie, that part I don't get down with because she was not thinking of her children's emotional well being. So, no, I don't like her for that reason. No, that reason she should have been a better mother in that regard. And then you see your daughter acting up and you take her to what, the shaman, take her to the shaman, to the healer, the fortune teller. But at the end of the day, you should have done better. But trying to understand her character by being with him when he didn't have anything, and seeing him rise, it kind of, and wanted to actually marry her and did. It just probably just was a messed up situation. I believe Joyce was the most upset with because she actually confided in Essie. So on like a friend level or sister-in-law, but really sister wife thing, she really was down bad because Joyce felt that you were my confidant. I will go to you and tell you things. And when you look back at it and how Joyce was, how she felt about them, how she would kind of talk, oh, look at her, think she's all that. Oh, they got all this. Let me go over there and be messy. And it's kind of like what Essie. You know what? Maybe I need to rethink how I feel about Essie. Now, one thing I respect about Essie, baby, Essie said, yeah, I have a husband. And when my husband come around, then my husband's around. But one thing she didn't do, she didn't lay around and not get her on the side. Baby Essie got her. And now she didn't just get her. She had her little juvie, a little young thing. She made sure that she was going to be pleased and taken care of in certain ways that her husband couldn't do because he was off with his other wife, women, and everybody else. So I did like that about her, that she wasn't just, oh, I'm married and he comes around every blue moon, but I gotta be waiting for him. No, she didn't play that. She got hers, and so I like that. That's about the only thing I guess I like. Her at the funeral, trying to have a funeral for Jonas over Joyce. That was a whack because it's like, baby girl, he didn't deserve for you to even do that for him because he wasn't a great husband to you. So you didn't even get to really be with him and be paraded out with your husband throughout y'all marriage. So yeah, she was doing too much. Too much. Freedom was right when he let her know, hey, you did this, but come on. You're the reason why we're like this, because of what you allowed. And I liked how in this series that people got real with each other. I enjoyed watching that they said the things that we as the audience would want to say, right? How they would get into Jonas's face. I like that. Like, yeah, women tell him. How Joyce didn't just sit down and roll over and let him just walk clean over her. She at least put up a little fight. She at least, told him off and let him know, hey, X, Y, and Z, my daddy did this. Like, you, what you got, where you came from. Like, I like that. And so, because that's what we want to see. We want to see the real. We don't want to see people just get dog walked all day long and they don't see the things that we would like a character to say. These people actually said it. Same with LaDonnie. When LaDonnie had her boyfriend and then she found out she was pregnant and she went to him to try to play it off like, oh, our baby, I'm pregnant or whatever. And he was like, is it mine? And when she kind of was like, yeah, baby, whatever she said, it's yours. I love that he clocked it, that he wasn't stupid. He literally clocked and was like, yeah, 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 all right, deuces. Like, yes, and give. I love moments like this in film. Give it to me. Yeah, give me the real. Who I felt the most sorry for out of this whole series would be Mpume. Mpume did not deserve none of that. She was just a young lady ready to go off to school, thinking about her developing body and possibly giving herself to her boyfriend for the first time. Like, she had so much to look forward to with her, life. But at the same time, her father's infidelity and all his messiness and toxicity was just like, it was just ruining everything. And on top of it, here goes Sarah doing what she did with her boyfriend. That was hurtful because, again, Mpume never treated her bad as a cousin, and you stole her phone. You already did that, and she didn't even blame you. She was blaming Freedom, so she wasn't even looking at you as being the culprit. She put it on your brother, and like, y'all just messed over her. But then on top of that, here go Ladani, your homegirl who you've been friends with since forever, who is like a sister to you. This is what she does with your father. Like, that was the final straw. And I really felt for Mpume on the end when she told her mom, like, I don't have no friends. I don't trust no one. Like, that was very real. Like, very real. So, yeah, I think out of everyone, she had the most heartbreak because she didn't ask for any of it. And people really were just bringing it to her left and right. And she just was too young to be experiencing all of that hurt from other people. And it's not like it was her own personal choices. It was just everyone else's around her. Okay, Magesh. I like Magesh's character. I really, really did. I felt that he was a down brother. He was loyal to his little brother, right? He's working in his brother's business and he knows his brother got a whole bunch of foolishness going on, but hey, family, right? But at the same time, I really felt that Jonas was played on his brother top too much and try to flex his power and his success a little bit too much in his face, and like always threatening him with the job, or like, especially when he gave him that glass in that bar and was like this what you do. Mm-mm-mm. That man really was getting besides himself. Okay, he really was letting the money get to his head for real. But Magesh was a cool character. Um, Knowing that he came from the streets, right? So he was a brother that was like in the streets compared to Janasi, who was the studious education esque one. Fight. Jonas wasn't a street dude, he was a book smart dude. So I like that in the show, like now since Jonas is successful, the brother taking his back seat to his brother and just like, all right, that's what you want. Okay, cool. But when Joyce and Matipa, when they were abused by Jonas, and Joyce told Magesh, that's it, I'm done. I want him out. Like, this is too far. Like, look at us. Like, this is going too far. Magesh didn't play. Magesh held his own with his brother and literally reminded his brother that, oh, I'm really the one. Now, I let you all this time think you were the one and I just was cool with it, but don't play with me. And I love that he took control of that situation and reminded his little brother that I'm big brother for real. Like, I'm big bro. Like, I'm really him. Don't play with me and get out. Yes. And although he got fired, it was all good because now he had a better life. Like he felt freedom for real. And now he had all those secrets and all of that off of his back. And I really liked, enjoyed that his character was moving towards, more positive things for himself and what he may have wanted outside of his brother and all of his messiness that he had going on. So yeah, my gosh, that was a good character. And I liked him a lot. And Menzie, huh? Menzie, he was a good character. He's gonna be like his Paul. That's just that. Now I will say with this show, something with Jonas that I really enjoy. He played that role down to the that was a good character, and it was played extremely, extraordinarily well. Loved it because you hated him, you didn't like him, but then at some points you kind of maybe almost start to feel a little bit sorry for him, but then not really. And so I just love that dynamic of that character and how he was portrayed. One thing I will say though, and this is just me, there are some people who like, oh, those sex scenes. I don't know. Honestly, for me, those scenes actually made me look at Jonathan and say, okay, I kind of see maybe why these women going so crazy. I think he probably was Big Jonas for real, because he had a lot of passion. He would get into in their faces and breathe up on them and talk to them like he hemmed up Matifa in a restaurant. And I'm like, oh, okay, damn. And and how he was behind Essie when he went to visit. And I'm like, damn, you a wild boy, huh? You are okay. I thought I was beginning to see like, okay, maybe this is why they all can't let him go. He obviously he's doing something right, obviously. And I was just those scenes, were just showing that this man is very passionate. Like he don't play behind his intimate pleasure, and I appreciate that. And then I love to with Ladani that it got more kinky and more fetishy, right? He brought out, like the lingerie and some of the gag and pieces and things like that, how that was incorporated to up it a notch. Because if we would have just kept seeing him just, rump in the bed like we had seen before, that would have been a, womp, 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 same old, same old. But by them incorporating a little, kink into it a bit, or a little playfulness and props into it, that made like that scene like something different and not the same as before. But yeah, I can see, I mean, from the Smith, I mean, I don't want him, but for the little split moment, I'm like, all right, Jonas, Mr. Gamora. I see you. I see you. I get it. Look, I get it. I get it. I get it. Overall, this show was a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it immensely. I really did. It really held my interest from episode 1 to episode 22. Bravo. Bravo. I would actually watch it again and still enjoy it. That's how good it was. So if you like recaps like this and just perspective and thoughts on film and television, then give this, if you enjoyed this, give it a like. And if you would like to watch more, then subscribe because more is coming. For Joyce's character, I was trying not to necessarily judge her too harshly just because of the culture of her people and what polygamy is for them compared to us in the West. Polygamy was never lawful. So therefore, we don't have the traditional aspect to go off of, except that your granddaddy and your daddy had a family around the corner across the street, and that's your siblings. But outside of that, it still wasn't something that was just so we just accepted and it was lawful. And it's like, well, that's what men do. Yeah, we can say that's what men do, but we also didn't have to just accept it outside of just having to accept it because, well, women didn't have rights to leave. And so you did have to accept at one point. The point is, it's not culture, right? It's not tradition. It's just what these men would do. I also like the fact that Janasi, He took care of his women. He took care of them. He provided for them. He put them up really nice. Money was not a factor. I like seeing that aspect instead of just some broke ass dude. Outside of everything else he was doing wrong, he was providing for those women and for the children, compared to men who want to be out here cheating and want more than one woman and wife and all of this, and yet those wives all have to work. Those wives are not put up nicely. Matter of fact, those wives are all under one roof because, well, hell, shit, he can't afford nothing else for them. This was nice to see that no, this is what a provider does. That you want to a lifestyle like this, where you want to take on additional households and women and family, you have to have the means to take care of those households, or else what are we doing? You just want to be nasty. Mind you, I believe that Janasi was a sex addict. That's my conclusion. He had a problem because there ain't no way in the world you just want to just too much. He should have been going to some type of sex addict anonymous because he had too much going on. But because he had the power and because he was successful, he felt he can just do it all. And ultimately, that's what got to him in the end. And respect to Joyce for setting that up just nice. I love a woman who she stood on business. She said, "Oh, it's gonna be till death do us part." Bet. Watch this. I love this. Imagine if more women, when men play with them too much or the wrong way, actually stood on business and said, "Oh, I got something for you." I bet you wouldn't be seeing too much infidelity, too much cheating going on. That wouldn't be happening as much if women really did say, "You know what? That's enough. You played with the right one and the wrong one at the same time." Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought for women. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Stop letting them play with you. Because Joyce said, "It could have all been so simple, but you rather make it hard." That's what she told him in that casket. Like, it didn't have to be like this, but I got you.